regarding the Big Ten championships, feel free.
Coach, what are your initial thoughts about league and hosting it?
It's great. If you remember, the last time we get it every 5 years. So it was 2021 when we were able to host it last time, and that was right when COVID broke. And I was telling the Big Ten people that I remember in the seats, you know, that caution tape that, like if somebody died, they put it around, or a crash or something. So the seats were all wrapped up. Like you couldn't sit in these 3 seats, but you could sit in those 2. And I remember that's how PBA was. And it was just so weird. And it's one of the first times they let people in, and we actually had a crowd, but it was so sporadic, and then all you see is the yellow caution tape all around. So this is really fun for us to be here on a normal year and host this great event. And we're just super excited and proud to have it.
During the competition, you all came in 3rd place in the regular season Big Ten. What are your thoughts heading into the Big Ten tournament?
Well, every team is very good, and I think anybody could win on a given day. We are a very solid team. We're young in areas, and that is where we had some mistakes early on. And truthfully, the 2 teams that beat us, I feel we're as good at or better. We just have to show it now. And I think we could do very well this weekend. Now, granted, yes, we have to hit routines, and we have to hit them well. But everybody does. The winner will do that. The 2nd place guy won't. And we have a chance, no doubt about it. Sorry?
Oh, you're good. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you just speak on what's made this team special all season, you coach, and kind of what's been unique about it?
Well, there was a couple things. I'm sure you all heard about our assistant coach passing away, Jim Hartung. And that was very, very tough. It happened right the week before our first competition. And, everybody took it differently. The freshmen didn't really know him that well. And then the seniors and the guys in his group, I can tell you, they were messed up for quite a while. And, it's like somewhat losing your father, kind of. For some people it is, depending on where they came from and what they have. For our staff, it was very difficult. Jim and I have been friends since we were little kids. He coached Johnny when he was at Nebraska competing. So it was rough. But the thing that helped, I think, something did come out of that good, was our team is very tight. And they were either going to be lost and go somewhere, or they were going to stick together. And they stuck together, and it was wonderful to see. And we're doing well now. And then I think just the makeup of the 8 freshmen, which is the most we've ever had on our team. We have a 19-man team, so almost half of them are freshmen. And these kids, they're raw. They don't understand anything about college gymnastics, don't understand anything about college. And they come in, and this happens. And they're like, what do we do? And they follow the older guys. And that was great, because we have great leadership from the older guys on the team. So I think those things all combined together really helped take the team to where they're at right now really fairly quickly, because of how young we are.
I guess just what are the logistics of being the host school at the tournament? Just obviously you guys get to sleep in your own bed at night, but just what does it maybe add in terms of pressure, crowd, dynamics of getting ready for this?
Everything, really, what you just said. We had a stretch this morning, and six of the 19 guys were gone because they're in class. When you're on the road, everybody's together. You know exactly what time everybody's supposed to be everywhere. It's much more structured. Here, it is nice to be in our hometown. It's great to be in our own bed, but it is different because of class schedules and other things that happen when you're home. But even with that, I'd rather be home than away. So, and then on the other side of the coin, we've never competed in here. Not one of these guys were around in 2021 when we hosted this last. We did a basketball, not a halftime show, but a timeout show to promote Big Tens. And the guys tumbled out and did stuff on the floor for that. And that was really the first time many of them have actually been in PBA with the lights, see a crowd. So they're all like, oh, this is going to be great. It was a good experience, even though it was, 5 minutes. It was a great experience for them just to see that. So it's home court advantage on the ground? Kind of. It's our equipment, but we've never competed. If we were in Devaney, it'd be another story.
What's that difference like for athletes and for preparation?
I'm sorry?
What's it like for that preparation difference between Devaney and here at PBA? Not like you said the lights, but just the atmosphere maybe?
Oh yeah, and then the atmosphere for sure. Just the dark roof is different, and then the basketball lights, the shadows it makes. So it's interesting. We were fortunate enough to get out here and test the equipment to make sure it was okay and it wasn't going to fall down today. And there was a number of things the guys mentioned, so we fixed them last night. So hopefully, but just how large the building is. I don't know. In Devaney, maybe it's this big. It doesn't seem like it is to me. And maybe it's because we're used to it. But this is an arena like the NCAAs are held in, the Olympic trials, the Olympic Games, stuff like this. So this is really special for the guys, and they soaked it all in yesterday.
Asher Cohen has had a phenomenal season on the rings. Asher Cohen.
Yeah.
Last year he came second in the rings. Now he's trying to obviously one up now. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, first of all, Asher is a wonderful student athlete. He has been our representative for the NCAA Elite 90 Award. He has a 3.997 GPA. He never wins because somebody has a 4.0, but he's a brilliant kid. He's a great kid. He will do anything for his team. He will do anything. He's the kind of kid you want as a son. He's the kind of kid you want your daughter to marry. He is just, I'm not kidding you, he's just top notch. And he works his butt off over all that. And he, not that, when you deserve something, many times you don't get it, but that kid deserves what he's getting. And he's just worked so hard for it, and he's really good. I think if he sticks his dismount, he'll be tough to beat this weekend. But if he stumbles on it, then who knows? But he's been training great in the gym. He feels good. He's got gymnastics is so mental. Your body knows what to do. Just let it happen. And there's a lot of things that come in play that mess that up. And your brain is it. It just triggers everything else. But he's been training properly. He's been doing everything correct in and out of the gym to excel in these last few meets we have.
Against Michigan, you guys have your highest point total in the team, even though you lost. Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time heading into the Big Ten championship?
Yes, I do. Yeah, we had a very good meet up there, and Michigan is a very good team, well coached, but they're beatable, and we saw that day. We have to do very well, but we can do it. We were in the meet the whole way through until the last event. We had a couple mistakes, and it happens. They're young kids. They were thrown in the fire, and it's tough to compete out of town, away from home. And especially in Ann Arbor, they have a good following, good people, good crowds. They're noisy. They know how to kind of mess with you. And you just got to keep your head together, stay focused, and do your job. We probably would not have beat them if we hit the 2 routines we missed, but we would have been really close. And then you never know the pressure that we put on them because we hit. So it's back and forth, back and forth. Then when we missed the first routine and kind of gave it away, it was like, all right, they could just cruise. And they're good enough a team to do that. So, but we feel like we could beat them, and we feel like we are as good as they are. Fred Richards is an amazing student athlete, Olympian. But everybody has to compete, so we'll see what happens Friday night.
And then the last question for me, a lot of people probably watch gymnastics on the Olympics, maybe see it once every 4 years. Now that's coming into Lincoln, they get a chance to watch it in person for the first time. What's that going to be like?
I think it's going to be great. I think, and who was it? Kyle Cook was asking me something, and he said, now, if you were a person who never watched a gymnastics meet in your life, why would I come and watch this? I just said, it's like a circus. You are going to see guys doing things that you're going to go, wow, what was that? How many twists did he do? How many flips did he do? And he landed back on his feet, or he recaught the bar, or whatever. But if you come and watch this tomorrow, I promise you, you'll be hooked. Because it's exciting, just the strength to balance, to speed, to height, to sticking ratio that every guy needs to do to win or even just excel. It's a difficult sport, and not many people do it. And that's why I think they don't understand it. But once they see it up front and for real, I think they're going to have a great time. I really do.
Anything else for Coach Chmelka? Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys.
All right, we'll get started here with Nebraska gymnasts. Please direct your questions directly to the gymnast by name so they can answer, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Max, you guys are hosting the Big Ten Championships. What's that going to be like competing tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. Being here for 3 years and going to different universities to compete, it's always a pretty big stage. So it's super exciting to, have a home meet and hopefully get a pretty good crowd. The arena out there is amazing. I wouldn't want to compete anywhere else, so I'm super excited about it.
And Chase, you guys usually compete at the Vandy Center.
Yeah.
In the PBA, we've heard other sports talk about some different dimensions. As you guys have practiced, what have you seen that's being the same as the Vandy and different?
Yeah, we talked a lot about all year, Big Ten's being in Lincoln, and everybody was super excited. And then like in the past few weeks, it kind of became more real that it's not in Vandy where we're comfortable with. It's over at PBA, and then like you heard from Coach Chuck that we came for the basketball little halftime minute or two just to give out some shirts and spread some news about the event. And our guy, we went out there for the first time. Granted, it was for basketball, and that place was sold out. I've never seen a group of guys so nervous. So I think that was a little bit of a reality check, that, this isn't Devaney, but it is home, and, we're going to have the same supporters, hopefully more. But, yeah, I think for a lot of us, it was like, wow, okay, Big Ten's is in Lincoln, but we've still got a big job to do, and it's going to be an adjustment just like any meet. But, seeing it set up for gymnastics was a whole lot different than basketball. And when we came out, today and saw it for the first time, it was pretty sweet.
I guess, Asher, just what maybe advantages does it make? I know some of you guys still have to go to class, but just to be here in Lincoln, and I know it's been 5 years, so none of you guys have been able to compete in this arena. Just how has that really been exciting for the program?
Yeah, none of us have ever actually competed in PBA, but, I look at not having to travel. Usually for Big Tens, you're traveling Tuesday or Wednesday, you have training days, you're sleeping in a hotel, maybe the sleep isn't so great on a plane or something. So, not having to travel is huge. And I think like Chase said earlier, that support, we know we're going to have fans in the crowd that are cheering us on. They want us to win. They're supporting us. So having that home crowd is definitely going to be a huge advantage as well.
Asher, for you, I asked the coach about you. He said you're the son that any parent would want. In that regard, in terms of performance, you're having a phenomenal year. You're the second in the rings last year. What are your expectations coming into the Big Tens?
I've gone into this season just wanting to do my best for the team. The team comes first. It comes before any individual accolade. I want to see us on top of the podium on Friday night. I want to get us that ring. I want to help lead us to that Big Ten title. So individually, whatever comes after is is just a bonus. But this whole season's been for the team first.
Max, you guys against Michigan had your highest point total but lost. What does that mean for you guys as you try to peak the Big Ten, where you had the highest point total but maybe came up a bit short?
Yeah, through that entire comp, we were kind of battling back and forth with them, and we kept it very close. And a big kind of focal point that we've been focusing on this year is keeping energy within ourselves, and trying to just only focus on what we can control and what we're doing out on the floor. There's no defense in gymnastics, so being able to focus in on that and really hone in and give intentional energy to the guys that are out doing routines is huge for us. And I think that's going to be on display Friday and Saturday, especially with the energy that we're going to get from the crowd. And that makes a huge difference. But seeing how close we were at Michigan was a good look for us, even though we didn't get the result we wanted to. And we kind of understood where we fell short, where we can get better in these past 2 weeks, and we're ready to put it on display tomorrow and Friday.
I guess this could be for Max as well. Just losing Coach Hardtongue, just obviously that kind of sent waves through the entire program, but just how maybe did it bring you guys closer this season, and something that you guys continuously reflect on throughout the season?
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't easy, especially with the timing of everything, kind of being right at the start of our season. But it's definitely brought us closer together. We understood everything that he meant to us, the program and the sport in total. So being able to kind of use that, understand everything that he meant to us, and then use that as fuel, and wanting to just live in his legacy and continue to, train, live, and live our daily lives like he did, has been a huge impact for us. And there was a huge shift through the entire team, every individual, from the very start of the season up until now. And it means a lot to us this season, but this is going to be a continuation through generations to come because of how much he meant to this program and the sport.
Chase, you're named an All-American in the ball game before this year. What are your expectations going into this weekend?
Yeah, kind of like Ash said, going into the season, everybody kind of, has their own things that they go through. But at the end of the day, you'll get the individual accolades you want after the team performance. We want the team to do the best first, and then, whatever comes after that. But like it will come after that. Like if the team does good, that means like each individual person is doing good and everybody's doing their job. As far as this season, what was your question again?
Just you're All-American. Like, how's your season? Do you have expectations moving into the Big Ten?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think that expectations can kind of like mess with my head a little bit. I had a pretty good season last year, and kind of throughout the whole time I was throughout the beginning of this season I was like, okay, I need to get back to where I was at the very end of last season on NCAA's Day 2. And then, you sit back and, you go back into your training and everything, and that's just not how it works. Every season's different than the last, and it's a process throughout. So, we're just kind of building throughout, and, I hope to get the same results.
Asher, a lot of freshmen on this team, as Coach was saying. He said you guys are the great leaders of those freshmen, but can you speak on the dynamic between the senior group and the freshmen, how that's been all year?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting at the start. Last year we lost 8 guys, and they were seniors and fifth years, and me personally, I'd been on a team for 3 years with those guys. So, with the new freshmen coming in, it was a completely new team. A lot of new faces around the gym, new faces in training. But yeah, they've all worked really hard, and the dynamic, I feel, has become something that's pretty special. I feel like we're very close-knit as a team this year. We're all striving for that same goal. We're all on the same page. We're all trying to push each other and keep each other accountable. And that's not senior authority coming down on these freshmen. It's all of us in it together. So it's very collaborative, and I feel like the dynamic is pretty tight knit.